few key steps that I think are really, really critical to aligning and motivating your workforce. First one, set goals and direction for the business. That's your job. That's leadership. Okay? If you have an organization that is goal-less or direction-less, you need to take a hard look in the mirror. And I'm sure that's not true for many of you, if any of you in this room. It's a very goal-oriented organization. But the first step towards aligning your team actually has to do with your ability to set goals and direction for the team. Step one. Step two. This is going to sound funny, but you have to tell everybody what the goals and the direction are. Okay, I cannot tell you how many times I've been brought in to counsel businesses, and I first interviewed the CEO or the leader of the organization. What's your goal? What's your mission? Where are you going? And we have a long, wonderful conversation. And then the first thing I do is I go out and I interview other people in the organization without the leader in the room and say, hey, tell me, what are the goals? What are the mission? What's the direction of the organization? I can't tell you how many times they look at me with a blank stare and they say, I have no idea. So that also falls on your work list. Setting goals and direction, and then making sure everybody understands what it is. And by the way, there's a huge benefit beyond the obvious when you communicate goals and direction to your team. Because once you've told everybody where you're going, now it's possible for you to create ownership over the goals and direction within your team. Okay? Anybody here own a car? Right? Anybody here ever spend time washing or cleaning their car? Of course. Anybody here ever rent a car? Of course. Anybody here ever taken a rental car to a car wash? Maybe one or two obsessive compulsives, okay? Nobody washes a rental car. Anybody here ever spent money to paint a house that they're renting? No. Nothing motivates a human being more than honest-to-God ownership. Nothing motivates a human being more than honest-to-God ownership. You want to motivate your team? You can't just set a direction and a mission for the organization. You have to find ways to make them own it. Make them understand how they are going to participate, what their roles and responsibilities are. We do this all the time with our team. We have completely reinvented the culture on the U.S. sailing team. And I spend as much time telling the athletes why this new direction is good for them and how they will play a role in our success as anything else I do. Why? Because once they see that the new direction and the mission is for their benefit, and once they understand how they contribute to it, now it's on autopilot. So you want to align and motivate your team, you got to have goals and direction, you got to communicate what those goals and directions are. Third, as often as possible, once you've done all those things, stay out of the way. Anybody here brave enough and honest enough to describe themselves as a micromanager? Because I know there's some of you in the room. It's okay, you don't have to put up your hand. I don't want to embarrass you. Okay? Nothing unmotivates a human being more than being told what to do all day long. I mean, can you imagine this? Can you imagine anybody on your team coming home at the end of their day to their family? How was your day, dear? It was fantastic. Somebody rode me all day long, told me exactly what to do all day long. They'd never left me alone. Everything was done for me. I mean, nobody likes that. Nobody likes that. But as entrepreneurs, I dare say, as a fellow entrepreneur, that it may be part of your DNA to micromanage. It's your business. It's your risk. You've invested in it. But you want to try and set up ways to align and motivate your team so that you don't feel the urges to micromanage your team. Because if you are micromanaging your team, I guarantee you with every fiber of my body that you are not getting enough out of them as you could. So you want to set up ways so that they know where they're going, they understand the role that they're going to play, they understand the plan, and then let people do their job. If you need to step in, no problem. It is your business. But my management style, and I think a really good management style in the world in which we live, is to give people direction and then give them a little rope. Let them go a little bit. And then the last point that I'll make on motivating your team, empowering your team, and I think this organization is particularly good at this, but I want to call it out anyway. Share credit as often as possible. Share credit as often as possible. Look for every opportunity to pat somebody on the back publicly. Okay? Look for every opportunity to acknowledge and reward good behavior. And I'll tell you one thing that I've started doing a lot of thinking about is leaders clearly identifying the behaviors that they want their teams to exhibit and then rewarding that behavior. And actually making the conscious step to say, these are the 3 or the 4 or the 5 or the X things that I want my team to do every day, or on every week or every month, and then note them for yourself, and then look for opportunities to reward those behaviors. Okay? People love a pat on the back. People love public acclaim. I mean, you all know it. You all got it last night. And another way to think about that, I once read an article in Harvard Business Review. Anybody here ever read Harvard Business Review? They have a wonderful way of taking simple ideas and turning them into 20,000-word pieces. And I read a piece that was at least 20,000 words, which, by the way, is a small book. And the whole premise of the piece was simply this. The 4 most empowering words you can say in the workplace are, what do you think? Asking a member of your team, what do you think? How are things going? What are we not doing that we should be doing? What are we doing too much of that we should be doing less of? That's a great way to motivate and empower your team. People love to have an opinion. People love to have their opinion heard. What do you think? Wonderful way to motivate your team.